No games
This bout is
being
scheduled for
played
three
here.
3-minute rounds. First, to my right in the blue corner, she weighed in at 118 pounds, Leilani Hodgens. And her opponent across the cage to my left in the red corner, she weighed in at 119 pounds, Greta Mars. Your referee when the action begins is Jason Collins.
All right, Greta Mars told me it was going to be a KO finish over her opponent, Leilani Tsunami Hodgens. Hodgens told me she expected a tough fight and that this is probably going to be a technical matchup and that she wants to eventually make it to where she can start to use her ground and pound in her wrestling.
Right out of the gate, Greta Mars with that signature pitch black upstate karate style.
And Greta Mars has some hand speed on her, throwing a lot of punches straight down the pipe, followed up by some high kicks. And now Leilani Hodges using her wrestling to get that takedown she said she was going to get.
Big takedown, and now on top here in half guard position.
What a lot of the fans can't see is the little minute things that fighters do close up. And we just saw Leilani Hodgens cover the mouth of Greta Mars just to control her breathing and kind of mess up her rhythm.
I hate it when people do that. Training jiu-jitsu and everyone puts their dang hand in your mouth. It's awful. You know, absolutely. Greta Mars known for her striking, but they do a lot of great jiu-jitsu over at Pitch Black too. A very well, very well-rounded team over there. But you know, that being said, they are known more for their striking, their ability to use, you know, kind of crafty, sneaky. Kind of unorthodox, that Kyokushin karate sort of style. You don't see, it's not Muay Thai, it's not traditional kickboxing, it's a little bit different. You'll even see Greta Mars do that same thing that Stephen Thompson does, kind of, you know, hands down to the waist, leading with that left kick.
Greta Mars is in a really interesting position. She would most likely be looking to shrimp her butt out to try and get a hook into Leilani Hodgens' inside leg. But since she's up against the cage, it makes it really hard for her to do that. And so she's really having to fight out of this one if she can get out of it.
100%. A lot of people don't realize that the cage being up against the wall, it changes all of the dynamics of the guard. And having a half guard position like that can actually be a detriment here.
And she's got Greta's left arm completely trapped. Greta is one-armed fighting right now. She can't do much with that left. It's just pressed up against the cage. And this is a good position for Hodges, who's using it as an opportunity to just throw rabbit punches.
Yeah, very hard to swim, very hard to get that arm out. Mars is going to have to really push and fight to get out of this position. She's going to have to push hard.
Especially when you got someone like Hodgens who is, you know, has a strong top position. Some fighters are just, even though they weigh the same, they're just heavier on top because they're just that good at grappling. I've grappled with small guys that feel like big guys because they're so good, and they just use their weight to their advantage. And Hodgens told me before this fight started that she wanted to be in this position. She said that she wanted to try to finish the fight with the ground and pound, and that's exactly what she's looking to do here.
Well, jiu-jitsu is a small man's game, or in this case, a small woman's game. It was built for smaller people to really gain not quite an advantage, but maybe equal the playing field against bigger opponents.
You know, this round one, we saw Greta Mars start off with a furious flurry of strikes, and I mean fast punches and kicks. There's that lead kick they love to do at Pitch Black. Greta Mars throws it again. Very fast punches. Perhaps the more fluid of the two strikers, but Leilani Hodgens knew coming into this game what her plan was going to be, and that's to get this fight down. Now, if you're Greta Mars, you come into round two, you've got to figure out a way to keep this fight standing and not allow this to repeat itself.
If I'm Leilani Hodgens, I'm looking for the same thing. I had great success in that first round doing it. Why not do it again? And so, vice versa. On the other side, Greta Mars, she seems to have a little bit of an advantage on the feet, even though we really didn't get to see much from her. But I would bet to say Greta Mars here is going to really, really try to avoid that takedown.
All right, round two, here we go. Jason giving a little bit of quick instructions to both fighters prior to the round, and we are underway. They meet in the middle.
Big shots by Greta Mars right out of the gate.
Hodgens putting her head down. Leilani putting her heads down and firing back, but
look at those shots back and forth, and then Leilani goes low.
That's what she wants.
Very easy to get caught in those flurries.
Yeah, but you got to watch the guillotine right here. Greta Mars trying to noose that up, if you will.
And look, that's something that Greta Mars has done plenty of times, is transition from a takedown into a guillotine.
That could be tight. That's an arm-in guillotine, I believe.
That does look tight. From this angle, that looks pretty uncomfortable for Miss Leilani Hodgens.
Leilani doing a good job at shifting her weight to the other side. Greta seems to be real strong in this position, trying to drive Leilani's head down into the mat to finish the choke.
You got to be careful not to wear yourself out, really trying to crank on this guillotine, because if you don't have it and then they pop their head out, that arm can all of a sudden feel a little bit less strong.
We're still early in the round, still early in the fight, and we're back on in that cage position. If Greta Mars loses this submission attempt, she could face a similar situation as round one.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment, especially with her just having, being slammed up against the bottom of that cage right there. All Hodgens has to do is try to figure out a way to pull her head out and then ride out this round number 2. And maybe if she can land some damage, that will sort of overcome this good minute and a half she's spent on the ground in a guillotine.
There comes the head. The head slips right on out, and we've got Leilani Hodgens on top. She's about to go to work.
Yeah, she's got a minute and some change to try to show the judges that she did more here in round number 2.
Preston, what do you think about the scoring on the guillotine itself? If you hold someone in a guillotine position, attempting to choke them, for 2 minutes of a 3-minute round, what's the score looking like?
In traditional jiu-jitsu, whenever someone pulls guard, goes for a guillotine, there's really no points scored other than maybe a point scored for a submission attempt. When it comes to MMA, I think the rules are a bit different. They see it as the person that is on top lands a takedown, I think.
I don't know.
That's how I believe it appears a lot of times to the coaches
I think
the judges.
Yeah. Well, of course, damage is paramount currently, but there are some limits to it. If you're taken down 10 times in a round and there is some damage inflicted from the top, it's going to be real hard to win from the bottom. I've seen it happen, so it's just interesting. You see it here, Leilani Hodgens closing out this second round on top.
Greta Mars really trying to shrimp out of this bottom position, but Hodgens is top strong, very top heavy, and now has got Greta Mars right where she wants. Posturing up and landing ground and pound. Difficult round to score. Preston, I think you make a great point about how judges can see things sometimes and it looks differently than what we see, but the takedown is one aspect of it, but then conversely, it's how do you score points for someone that's just kind of spending 2 minutes with their head trapped, and as a viewer you're wondering, is this about to be over? Are they about to lose? Are they about to tap?
Yeah, it's really hard to say because if you're looking at it from one side, you could say that Mars is really trying to finish the fight.
There is a blue Tundra that is blocking somebody's driveway. You're about to get towed. Also, if you were parked at
it's really hard to say how they score that.
I've heard that a lot of tow trucks are heading that way. Several are already there, so if you're parked over there, you need to move your car quickly.
That's right.
And was going to work, and that might be enough to sway the judges because she landed at the end of the round on top.
Could very well be. I think no matter which way you chop it up, Greta Mars has to turn the aggression level up a little bit here in round 3 and sort of consider herself as an underdog and in need of a finish here.
She's got to be careful of those exchanges where they're just slinging punches because in each time they've done that, Leilani Hodgens has just shot under and got the takedown.
That's right.
And so you have to play a little bit more on the outside, be a little bit more conservative, maybe not throw so many high kicks, and you end up in these positions here.
This is right where Tsunami wants this fight to be, and that's on the mat. And Greta looks like she's got an arm.
Greta's got to work for that sweep, but she's got that leg extended out. Leilani Hodgens has the sweeping leg of Greta Mars extended out. So, even though Greta does have that underhook looking to peel her over, it's going to be really hard for her to do so without that inside hook.
And Greta just lost that hook, and now in a worse position, Hodges in some sort of a side mount, it looks like. Yeah, that's a half guard position for Hodges.
No, nasty hammer fist there.
Yeah, and this is exactly a repeat of what we saw in round one. She traps that left arm of Greta, sort of rendering Greta a one-armed fighter, you know? And that one arm isn't enough to keep her off her, block the shots, and do what she needs to do. And
it's hard to bench press an entire person off of you with one hand. Unless you're some sort of power lifter, it's hard to do.
Leilani Hodgens showing a great grappling prowess, switching from one side mount position to the next. And now she appears to be attacking the arm of Greta. I can't tell if she's trying to put that thing back into an Americana or if she's just content on using her weight. And
Leilani Hodgens is doing great by keeping her hips low. And as you can see, Greta Mars is swinging her legs around, looking to hook something on the other side there. Not really able to move, and there goes, what a great transition to mount.
Yeah, great grappling.
Oh, man. Fantastic grappling by Leilani Hodgens.
And just waiting for her moment, you know, like an anaconda looking for that one moment to go in for the kill.
Slowly just sucking the life out of Greta Mars here. Oh, what a great transition.
That was a transition. That may have been a triangle sweep.
It could have been planned by Leilani Hodgens.
Man.
Greta really needs to get her head up and really push down on Leilani to create some space here.
And Greta's got her left arm underneath.
She's in danger here.
Yes, she is.
She's doing really well by stacking her, not really giving Leilani a chance to finish.
Yeah, either way, Greta Mars has to be extremely careful here. She's only one or two bad angles from getting that triangle locked up.
One wrong move could land her or allow her to tap and
send her to a beach in Brazil for a few minutes until she wakes up, you know.
She heard the claps, the 10-second claps, and threw a few strikes as out of desperation. And here we are moving on to round 3.
Well,
that was the end of the fight there.
That was it. Leilani Hodges feeling pretty confident with her team that she secured the victory over Greta Mars, and I think that's probably a safe call. You know, mixed martial arts is a crazy sport, and sometimes if you can be the better striker, it doesn't matter if you spin the fight on your back.
That's true. It is all martial arts.
That's right.
So you have to train for all martial arts, and best person to mix those two up to, the grappling and the striking typically is able to get it done.
All right, 3 rounds in the books. Greta the Martian Mars has just finished her fight with Leilani Tsunami Hodgens. Judges' scorecards being tallied up as we speak.
The Killer Bees having a great night tonight. They've got a few wins under their belt so far.
All right, the scorecards are in. The judges have rendered their decision. Now making sure that our announcer, Jennifer, has got the right information. And yeah, you're right, Preston. They seem pretty confident. I think they feel like they've got this one. We'll know here in just a minute. Let's send it on up to Jennifer Oxendine.
After 3 hard-hitting rounds, we go to your judges' scorecard for decision. Your judges score this fight 27-30, 27-29, and 27-30 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the blue corner, Leilani Hodgens.
What a great win for Leilani Hodgens. You know, overcame some pretty precise, sharp strikes from Greta Mars and was able to get that takedown and then go to work.